All right, so you want to dive deep on Terrifier 3? Let's do it. Especially with this new release. It's giving us some seriously mixed signals just from glancing at the movie database.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and
Yeah.
definitely some curveballs.
I mean, we've got your typical slasher keywords right out of the gate, monster, massacre, that whole vibe.
Right.
But then, bam, we're hit with Christmas spirit and nostalgic.
Whoa, hold on, what?
Yeah, talk about a horror cocktail, right? It's like, what are we getting into here?
That's not your typical slasher setup, that's for sure.
Okay, so plot-wise, we're following Sienna and her brother, who are still trying to, like, mentally recover from Art the Clown's little Halloween party. And guess what? He's back for an encore performance. But this time, he's bringing the holiday cheer.
Oh, boy.
Or at least his own messed up version of it, I'm guessing.
You know, it's interesting because setting a slasher film during Christmas, that's a bold move. We usually associate the holidays with, warmth, family, togetherness, all that good stuff.
Right. It's supposed to be all Hallmark Channel up in here.
Exactly. So to have that juxtaposed with, well, Art the Clown and whatever mayhem he brings to the table.
Art the holiday clown.
It's going to create a seriously jarring viewing experience, that's for sure. I can already tell.
No, for sure. And speaking of unexpected twists, TMDB throws in supernatural horror and mischievous.
Right?
Now, hold. Art. Hey, is Art bringing some paranormal activity to this killing spree? Or are we maybe, I don't know, leaning into a darkly comedic edge this time around?
I'm looking at the budget here, and it says $2 million, which... that's relatively low for a horror film, especially for a sequel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking being independently produced probably gave the filmmakers a lot more creative freedom.
That makes sense. Yeah.
To play with genre conventions, maybe lean into that horror comedy blend. It's definitely possible.
Okay, yeah. And get this. This film's sitting pretty, with a perfect 100 content score on TMDB.
Wow, really? 100?
100? Which, to put that in perspective, that's like finding a perfectly preserved gingerbread house in the middle of a horror movie.
That's saying so.
Right. It's almost unheard of. It seems like this movie is really striking a nerve.
Wow, interesting.
Interesting. Now, we know this gruesome Christmas present clocks in at 2 hours and 5 minutes. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The box office numbers, still pending.
Oh, wow. So it's like we're watching this film unfold in real time.
Exactly. Will it become a cult classic? Will it just fade into obscurity?
I know, right? We'll have to wait and see.
So, I mean, the big question here is, can Terrifier 3 really pull off this insane balancing act, gruesome horror, but also Christmas cheer?
Right. It seems impossible. And yet that's what makes it so fascinating. Right?
Exactly. It's like they're trying to bake a gingerbread house out of razor blades and candy canes.
It's definitely, look, this isn't just about blood and guts and cheap thrills. There's a deliberate play with expectations here. Damien Leone, the director, he's known for pushing boundaries. So to see how he blends these totally opposite elements, the joy of Christmas and, well, Art the Clown.
It's going to be wild.
It's going to be fascinating, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, and hold on, because there's another layer here. TMGB mentions orphan siblings.
Oh, interesting.
Could Terrifier 3 actually be exploring themes of, like, childhood trauma, resilience, and all against this twisted holiday backdrop?
It's definitely within the realm of possibility. Horror often works by taking familiar things like happy holidays and twisting them into something terrifying. So adding the element of, vulnerable siblings into that mix,
Ooh.
it could make those scares hit even closer to home.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, back to the visuals for a sec. TMDB highlights 74 posters
Wow.
and 20 backdrops. That's a lot.
That's a lot of artwork.
It's a visual overload. Could this be where the whole nostalgic thing comes in? Like maybe Leone is using a retro aesthetic or something to amp up the creepiness?
Ooh, that's clever. Nostalgia often evokes, feelings of comfort, simpler times. So to juxtapose those warm, fuzzy feelings with graphic horror,
It's messed up.
oh, it could really mess with your mind. Imagine, like those classic claymation Christmas specials. But with Art the Clown lurking in the background.
Okay, stop. You're giving me nightmares.
Sorry.
Speaking of nightmares, David Howard Thornton is back as Art the Clown. You know that feeling when he just pops up on screen and you just know something awful is about to happen?
Oh, yeah.
That's David Howard Thornton.
He's become a horror icon for a reason. That unsettling silence, the way he moves, it's genuinely disturbing. And get this, Daniel Roebuck is listed as Santa Claus.
Wait, what?
Santa Claus. Talk about an unexpected casting choice.
Hold on, Daniel Roebuck.
Yeah.
Like the guy who always plays the lovable dad?
Yeah.
He's going to be Santa Claus.
Like what it says?
That's either genius or It's going to go so wrong.
Right. There's no in between.
No in between. You know what's cool, though? This TMDb page is seriously detailed. Like, we even get a peek at the crew.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, Paul Wiley is credited for the special effects makeup.
Ah, the makeup.
And considering Terrifier's reputation for, let's just say, creative use of practical effects.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing he had his work cut out for him.
I bet. You know, the emphasis on practical effects, that's a smart move these days. In an age of CGI, you know, there's just something so much more viscerally disturbing about seeing those gruesome effects done practically.
Oh, 100%. It's like they're taking that old saying, seeing is believing, and just chucking it out the window.
Right.
Because with Terrifier 3, seeing it might just make you wish you could unsee it, you know?
Totally. But that's like the beauty of practical effects in horror, though. It's not just about watching something get torn apart on screen. It's like you're seeing the actual consequences, which just adds this whole other level of like, ugh, this is too real to it.
For sure. And, okay, speaking of too real, did you see that Terrifier 3 is still unrated?
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, and that's pretty uncommon, especially for a film with this much buzz already.
Yeah.
You know, coming off the reputation of the first two Terrifier movies.
That is pretty bold. It's got to be a way to like really get people talking, right? Drum up even more curiosity.
I guess so. I mean, that's got to be the strategy, right?
Yeah, or maybe, and I'm just like spitballing here, but maybe it means they're taking the gore to a whole new level, like even more than before.
Okay, see, now you're just messing with me.
I know.
But honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised, you know? But here, like, the million-dollar question that I keep coming back to, how does nostalgic fit into all of this? It just seems so out of place, you know, next to words like massacre and monster, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and honestly, that's what has me the most intrigued. Nostalgia is all about good memories, right?
Yeah.
Happy times, longing for simpler times. So to try to weave that into a movie like Terrifier 3, man, that could be really effective.
It's true. It'd be like a total gut punch, right? Because it'd be like they're saying, hey, remember all those childhood fears, like the monsters under the bed, all that stuff? Those never really go away, do they?
Yeah, they just get a holiday makeover.
Exactly. Ugh, it's terrifying.
But that's what makes like this whole deep dive so fascinating, right? Terrifier 3 is shaping up to be way more than just your average slasher sequel. It's a film that's intentionally messing with everything. Genre expectations, audience expectations, even our own childhood memories.
It's true. So, okay, what do you think? When all is said and done, is Terrifier 3 going to go down as, like, this brilliantly twisted take on holiday horror? Or will it just be another one of those forgettable slasher sequels? Honestly, I don't even know what to think. This whole thing has got me, like, questioning everything.
Oh, the anticipation is real. But I think that's the mark of a movie that could potentially be, like, really special, you know?
Yeah.
The kind of film where the experience, it, like, goes beyond just the screen. You walk out of the theater and suddenly those Christmas lights seem just a little bit creepier. Those holiday songs on the radio sound just a little bit off-key.
Don't do that. I don't want to think about it.
I'm sorry.
But you're so right, though. Okay, well, one thing's for sure. Terrifier 3 has officially earned a spot at the top of my watch list.
Same.
So, hey, after you've braved the movie yourself, come find us online and tell us what you thought. We are dying to hear your theories. Until then, happy viewing. And good luck getting any sleep tonight. We'll be back next week with another episode of The Deep Dive.